So in this aptitude tutorial video I am going to discuss about profit and loss. In order to calculate profit and loss, you need to know about two kinds of prices, that is selling price and cost price. Selling price is denoted by SP and cost price is denoted by CP. So in order to calculate profit, you have to subtract the cost price from selling price. In case of profit, the selling price will be more than cost price. To find the profit percentage, you have to use this formula, that is profit divided by CP into 100, which will give you the percentage profit. Similarly, to find out loss, you have to subtract the selling price from cost price. In case of loss, cost price will be more than selling price. Similarly, to find loss percentage, you have to use this formula, that is loss divided by CP into 100. Now here are some more useful formulas, like when the gain percent is given, you can use this formula to calculate the cost price, that is 100 into selling price divided by 100 plus gain percentage. Similarly, when loss is given, you have to just replace gain percent by loss, and instead of adding, you have to subtract it. This will give you the cost price. We will see some examples which will make it clear. Then if there is cost price, if cost price is given, you can find out the selling price by using the gain percentage, and this is the formula. Similarly, for loss, you have to just subtract from 100 instead of adding. So now let's see some examples which will make these concepts more clear. So here is the first problem. A shopkeeper bought a pen for ₹20 and sold it for ₹30. Calculate gain or loss percent. So this is a very easy problem, and chances are that this kind of problem will not appear in aptitude test, but still let's solve it. So here CP is ₹20 and SP is ₹30, that is selling price. So gain equals ₹10, and definitely it's a gain as SP is more than CP. So we have gain percent equals, that is gain by CP, that is 20 into 100% equals, that is 50% gain. So now let's move on to the next problem. This is an interesting problem and very important for aptitude tests. A seller bought 6 pens for ₹10 and sold them for 4 pens at ₹6. Find this gain or loss percent. Now by looking at this, it will be difficult for you to say whether he has made a gain or a loss. You can just use the traditional method of like finding out the cost of one pen and then SP of one pen, and then you can just subtract it, and if it's negative or positive, depending on that, you can find out gain. But in aptitude test, you don't have that much time. So let's see an important method. So here it is given that the seller has bought 6 pens and sold 4 pens. Now what we will do is that we will find out the LCM of 6 and 4, that is the number of articles which is bought and sold. So this one is 12, that is the LCM of 6 and 4 is 12. Now we will assume that the seller has bought not 6 pens but 12 pens, and he also sold 12 pens. We will assume this, and depending on that, we will now find out the cost, that is CP of 12 pens. So what will be the CP of 12 pens? That is 6 pen cost ₹10. So 1 pen cost, let's do it here, 6 pens cost ₹10. So 1 pen costs ₹10 by 6. So 12 pens will cost, that is multiply the cost of 1 pen with 12 to get the cost of 12 pens. So 12 pens cost ₹20. and again we will find out the SP of 12 pence, that is similarly 4 pence selling price is rupees 6, 1 pen SP is 6 by 4, so just multiply it, the SP of 1 pen into 12, that is we get rupees 18. So we can see that CP is more than SP, so it's a loss, so loss equals rupees 2, and so loss percent will be equal to like loss by CP, that is 20 into 100, so we have here 10% loss. So the seller has made a loss of 10% in this transaction. Now let's move on to the next problem. This is also an interesting problem, that is if the CP of 12 pence, that is the cost price of 12 pence, is equal to the selling price of 8 pence, then the gain percent is, so we have to find out the gain percent. Now we will solve it in this way, that is we will use the information that is given, that is CP of 12 pence is equal to SP of 8 pence. Now let us assume that the cost of, that is CP of 1 pen is equal to 1 rupee. Let's assume this. So CP of 12 pence is equal to SP of 12 pence, that is rupees 12. Now we will use this portion, that is let's find out the SP of 1 pen. SP of 1 pen equals rupees 12 by 8, so we have here 3 by 2, that is rupees 1.50, and we already have this. Let me change the color. Now we know that the CP of 1 pen is rupees 1, and the SP of 1 pen we got here is rupees 1.50. So the gain is 0.50, that is rupees. Now we will find the gain percent, that is gain, that is 0.50 by cost price, that is 1 into 100, so gain is 50%. Now let's move on to the next problem. A trader sold an article for rupees 390 and earned a profit of 20%. We have to find this CP. Then we can find CP by using this formula that we showed earlier, that is 100 multiplied by SP. So SP is 390 and we have to, the seller has made a profit of 20%, so 100 plus 20, that is 100 multiplied by 390 into 12. So we have here, that is this is 13 and this one is 4, so this is 25. So we have here 250 plus 75, which is 2, so rupees 325. So this is the answer. that is the CP is rupees 325. We just use this formula, this one. We can also use the X method, that is by taking the CP as X and solve this problem, but that will take some time, and that time is really vital in aptitude tests. Now let's move on to the next problem. By selling an article for rupees 570, a seller lost 5%. Find out the selling price which would have earned him a profit of 5%. So first let's find out what is the cost price of the article. Again we will use the same formula, that is 100 multiplied by 570, that is the SP selling price, and 100 minus 5%, that is the loss percent. Be careful not to add this but subtract it, since it is loss. It is clearly mentioned here that is loss. So we have 100 into 570 by 95. So this one will be 30 dividing it by 19, and this one will be 5, 20. So cost price is 600 rupees. Now we have to find out the selling price. So in order to find the selling price, we will use SP equals, and profit will be 5%, so we will use 105 by 100 into 600. So this one cancels out, and we have rupees 630. So he should have sold this article at rupees 630 in order to make a profit of 5%. Now let's move on to another important concept, that is false weights. Suppose if a seller says that he sells his goods at cost price and uses false weight, then he makes a profit. Definitely he will be making a profit as he is using false weights. So profit percent will be equal to error, that is the difference in weights, by divided by true value minus error into 100%. Let's see this with an example which will be more clear. A fraud seller sells his goods at cost price but uses a weight of 960 gram for a kg, that is kilogram. Find his gain percent. So he is using 960 gram weight for 1000 grams. So his gain percent will be given by error, that is the difference between this 1000 minus 960, that is 40, divided by true value. True value here is 1000. So 1000 minus error is 40. Into 100%. So we have here 40 divided by 960 into 100. So this one is 24. So we have 4 by 24, which is percent equals 1 by 6%. So the seller has gained 1 by 6% by using false weights. So thank you for watching this video. I have made other videos on aptitude topics. and the links for those videos will be in the description below. Thank you.